You know, in a world where your online presence is basically your new resume, have you ever stopped to think about the story it's telling? Because that story, well, that's the first thing recruiters, clients, and colleagues see. So today, we're going to get into the strategy behind crafting a professional identity that really works for you.
Seriously, think about it for a second. This isn't just some random question. It's the first impression you're making, a lot of times before you even get a chance to speak. Right now, that search result is your digital handshake. So, what kind of story is the internet telling about you?
And that brings us to maybe the most important truth of this whole thing. You already have a personal brand. Yep, it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's the perception you create. The only choice you really have is whether you're going to be the architect of that brand or if you're just going to let random chance build it for you.
Okay, so let's cut through all the jargon. What even is a personal brand? At its heart, it's simply your professional reputation. It's the unique value you bring to the table, and, just as importantly, how clearly you communicate that value to everyone else.
Let's get a little more specific. Personal branding isn't about bragging or being boastful. It's about being intentional. It's that conscious, strategic effort to shape how people see you, positioning yourself not just as another person in your field, but as a credible, trustworthy voice.
So here's the thing. Your brand isn't built from a single social media post or one great meeting. It's a mix of everything you do, how you act, the way you talk and write, your entire digital footprint, the quality of your work, and maybe most importantly, how consistently you show up across all these areas. Your brand is really just the sum of all your actions.
All right, now we know how a brand is built, but let's talk about why it's so incredibly valuable. In today's professional world, you really have to think of your reputation as a form of currency. It buys you trust, it unlocks opportunities, and it creates the connections that can truly accelerate your career.
This slide lays it out perfectly. The same rules apply everywhere, whether it's online or offline. You know, being on time for a meeting shows you're reliable. Well, that's the real-world version of having a complete professional LinkedIn profile. Your positive attitude in person, that gets reflected in the constructive tone of your public posts online. It's all connected. It's all one brand.
And this right here, this is the secret sauce. Consistency. When the person you are in an email is the same person you are in a meeting, you become predictable in the best possible way. People know what to expect from you. And that, my friends, is the absolute foundation of trust and credibility. Okay, let's switch gears and focus on the digital world for a bit, because let's be real, this is where most professional first impressions are happening today, and there's one platform you absolutely have to get right to control that impression. Of course, we're talking about LinkedIn. It's just not optional anymore, you know? It's your dynamic, living, breathing digital resume. Think about it. A recruiter who's searching for someone with your exact skills is way more likely to find you and be impressed if your profile is sharp, active, and professional. Here's a super practical, easy way to think about intentional branding. Just look at the difference here. Student is passive. It's what you are. But the after headline, that's active. It's forward-looking. It's about who you're becoming and what you're genuinely excited about. It tells a story and it makes people want to talk to you. Now, this is a really important point. This is not about creating some fake persona. It's the exact opposite. It's about figuring out what makes you genuinely unique and valuable, and then learning how to talk about that with confidence. Authenticity is magnetic. It pulls the right people and the right opportunities directly to you. So just as your written brand needs to be sharp, your spoken brand needs to be ready to go at a moment's notice. You need a short, powerful tool for networking, interviews, or even just those chance encounters. And that's where the good old elevator pitch comes in. 30 seconds. That's often all the time you have to grab someone's interest, communicate your value, and make them think, I want to know more. You've got to make every single one of those seconds count. The great news is there's a simple, powerful formula for this. It's just 3 easy parts. First, introduce yourself, who you are. Second, highlight your key skills, what value you bring. And third, clearly state your goal, what you're looking for. It's simple, it's structured, and it's memorable. Let's hear how that sounds in real life. Alex moves so smoothly from identity to value to a very clear goal. It sounds confident, it's concise, and it leaves the listener with a perfect understanding of who Alex is and what Alex is looking for. Now that is a powerful 30 seconds. Okay, so we've covered the why and the what of personal branding, but now we're going to shift to the most important part, actually taking action.
It's time to move from just learning these ideas to putting them to work for you starting today.
And as you get started, please remember this. The goal is not to pretend you're some flawless, perfect person. That's exhausting and it's not real. The real goal is to get really, really good at clearly and confidently talking about the unique value that you already have. I want you to pick one of these things and just do it today. Right now. Don't put it off. Go update that LinkedIn headline. Or just draft that 3-sentence pitch. Even the smallest action starts to build momentum, and it signals to the world and, more importantly to yourself, that you are serious about this journey. Because here's the bottom line. The best opportunities don't always go to the most qualified person on paper. They go to the person who is visible, who has built up that credibility, and who is prepared to grab that opportunity when it shows up. A strong personal brand makes sure that person is you.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with this one last thought. In this day and age, your name is your brand. It's your single most valuable professional asset. So take ownership of it. Be thoughtful, be strategic, and build it with intention.